So I want to briefly talk about the storyline of Marvel Rivals Season 7, because we were on a whole multiverse hopping journey for the first year, but now we've come into the MCU, and each season from here on over the course of 2026 is actually going to be recreating a different Avengers movie. And that's going to have a limited time game mode, it's going to influence the storyline, and most likely influence some of the playable heroes. And with the Heart of the City message they put at the very beginning of the game, they're directly talking about New York and the path to Doomsday. Now, one of the things I think really makes Marvel special when it comes to comic books, maybe even the secret sauce, is that New York is a central part of the entire multiverse. Unlike DC, where you got Metropolis, Emerald City, Gotham, Marvel takes place in the real world, just an alternate version of the real world, as they would like to fancy. And this season is a collision of the timelines. You have 2099 with the Alchemax Corporation, and this connects us directly to the Spider-Verse movies through Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man 2099. And I've seen people wanting him to come to the game, myself included, as a Vanguard. I think he has the sauce to make that work. But beyond that, the Alchemax Corporation involves Norman Osborn and a descendant of Dr. Octopus, Olivia Octavius. And considering this all leads up to Doomsday, again, I think we're getting to the point in this game where they might start introducing actual villains, because all the people in the current game, though some of them may be villainous, in their lore, they are not actually villains. They came to the games in a somewhat heroic fashion. And the real point of this season's story is that 2099 New York and regular New York are modern day New York. They're converging, and Kingpin has to declare martial law, trying to round up all the superheroes because he thinks they're responsible for this, and they probably are. And we're introduced to this concept called the Heart of the City, which is quasi-magical. It's actually something that makes New York a focal point of the MCU, and 2099 timeline is trying to steal it from the modern timeline. And this is what brings Black Cat into the picture. And it's important to note that Black Cat, at least in modern incarnations, actually does have some superpowers. Beyond the Black Cat transformation, she also has roundabout good luck powers by inflicting bad luck on other people. And of course, because Luna Snow is rounded up, she's locked in New York, that's where White Fox comes in from 2099, and she actually leads the Tiger Division, the militant arm of the Alchemax Corporation. So there's a lot of intertwining in these storylines, actually, a lot of drama under the surface. And of course, she's going to help Luna Snow because Luna Snow, White Fox, virtually no comics. They're pretty much unwritten characters for Marvel Rivals to do whatever they want with lore-wise, and because Marvel is now paying so much attention to this game, whatever they do in this game is probably going to affect movies and comic books for sure. Now, if we go to the gallery, we can see some screens for Lower Manhattan, and this is actually going to be the new map coming in 2 weeks with the April season update. Manhattan Lockdown, Gilded Wish, Rescinded Offer. This actually might answer my question from the Battle Pass. Let's see what we got here. The future invades and the heroes get locked up. Damn, Black Widow, what are you cooking over there? And he has the Heart of Manhattan, the Heart of New York there. And when we read that, she thought it was Spider-Man, but turns out it's actually Black Cat and White Fox, because they form a sort of yin-yang with each other's powers. At least that's the way that the devs are trying to portray it. What is that hand, bro? That's spooky. What is that? That's gonna be on the map, no doubt. And with the power, they're able to completely take control. But then this rescinded offer, this is if you win. No. He says no, and the heroes are freed. And they go to fight Kingpin. Dude, if Kingpin becomes playable, Kingpin has always been a crowd favorite. He's just got aura. Straight up aura, man. Now, we do have another round of accessories. Brown new Labubu's, baby. I love that. And who is this? Cullen Bloodstone. Little baby brother of Elsa Bloodstone. This is actually the Glartrox because he's cursed to be a monster. Very nice. We have Red She-Hulk for the Hulk. So maybe this tells us a bit of how they're going to put She-Hulk in the game to make her distinct. Or maybe this is her ultimate, because the whole thing about like the red versions of these Hulks is that they're producing heat, or they're producing something special that the regular Hulk is not. So I could definitely see that. I was struggling to find a way to make her unique, but that's a good idea, Netties. Venom has a little cat plushie called the Sleeper. The Venom symbiote had seen their kids fall to hate, but when Sleeper was born, the blob of goo did something new. It stayed. So this is actually a child of Venom, but also his pet. With Penny Parker, she just gets a spider bag. I think Penny Parker suffers from the Luna Snow problem, where she just doesn't have comics to reference. She has no real familial connections. There's nothing to dig deep into for her Labubu's. With Adam Warlock, he has the Magus, which is his darker half, and I guess this makes sense since they just put the Living Tribunal, which is him at his truly ascended form. Robot Dog took a Kree blaster for Ultron. He felt a weird jolt in his circuits. I don't know if this dog taking a bullet for Ultron is actually canon. Let me know that in the comments. That's so silly. Next one is Mr. Fantastic, and I'm surprised he didn't have one by now, since Sue Storm was one of the first they put out. It's actually their kids, Franklin and Valeria, because these two definitely gonna matter in the Doomsday and post-Doomsday storyline. Kate Bishop for Hawkeye. You know, I guess of all the Disney Plus shows, this was one of the least bad. Actually somewhat enjoyable, the Hawkeye show, decent Christmas watch. And then with Iron Fist, he actually has the Dragon Shu Lao. And I feel like that storyline, the Ancient Beast Awakened storyline, was a bit undercooked. It was really more about the skins and the map and the fact that Angela was there. The storyline didn't really shine through. This is a decent Labubu, though. And then with White Fox, she actually gets the Luna Snow Labubu. And of course, she's doing a little kissy chibi face. Does Luna Snow have one? What's Luna Snow's? In fact, if we go back in time, Luna Snow always had the White Fox plushie. We should have known. We should have seen it coming. I mean, we knew she would be a character, but we should have seen the synergy coming more than anything. Quick Battle Pass review. First skin, Rebel Hela. And this is a legendary skin too. She's totally biding Magic's style here. Pretty interesting because Magic got a significant buff in this season, and I think Stall Poke is probably going to be a lot weaker because the ultimates have been nerfed and now the neutral game is a lot more powerful. Her emote is free, the Lone String Lament. That's actually pretty classy. I like that one. The spray for this also pretty stunning. Oh my god, she's got quite an eclectic style, right? Like fancy goth. And then checking out the MVP. He's literally sitting in a coffin. The showmanship. You're gonna see this skin everywhere. Hella mains rejoice. The next page, we have Rocket Raccoon's office skin. I suppose this is inspired by Jeff the Landshark suit. And I mean, honestly, I can't think of a single Rocket Raccoon skin that's missed. All of his skins are pretty damn good. Simple emote here. And then his spray is kind of cool, actually. Guardian Handbook. I like sprays more when they have the teams that the hero's affiliated with. That's actually a bonus in my book. Now, this one was getting a lot of clips on social media. The Living Tribunal with Adam Warlock. And let me show you why. Oh my god, bro. It's like he's pretty much not wearing clothes. And wait until you see Adam Warlock flying, too. Bro is clenched up. Emote is free, though. Shadow of the Past. Yeah, that was cool, but now I've ascended to godhood. And then his other stuff is pretty simple. MVP. Whoa, they were very close with that camera, weren't they? Absolute authority. You know, I like this one. This might be my favorite MVP of his because you have to make other people watch it. Now we have Doom Angela. Honestly, her skins have been pretty good too. She just had that card suit skin affiliated with Gambit. Now she's got this one. She's got great armors. I know everyone was obsessing over the thighs, but I mean, honestly, it's hard to think of Angela in that fashion. I like her more in the suits. This page, I like the skin, but everything else, kind of take it or leave it. But I guess this is the free page, huh? So it makes sense that the stuff here would be a little bit weaker. You know, for a free Angela skin, I'll give it a bonus point. Then we have Steven Sanders, the Doctor, Daddy Strange right here. And then looking at his MVP, Rise and Shine. Yep, I saw this one getting memed too. Somebody called the doc for a triple dose. Then you got the gallery card, Worst of Times. This is the current timeline, New York. Moving on to Hawkeye. Oh, this is like the Star-Lord skin from last season, so I bet we're gonna see a lot of these prismatic skins. And this probably has to do with pick rate as well. Hawkeye was pretty good last season. I feel like I saw him a lot more. This is also where you get Black Cat's nameplate, because this is about when we'll have the month update where Black Cat will come to the game. I don't really know too much about her kit. I think she's going to have a quasi-transformation and then possibly some sort of grapple hook. I think it's going to be really hard to express how her bad luck power works. We'll see what they do with that. Simple emote here, acrobatic ace. Oh wow, again making you look at those cheeks, huh? This has got to be the most cheeked up battle pass so far. The low-key Thor, and I have seen the low-key Loki as well, so this is a whole thing they're doing, the low-key sets. Was this actually in a comic book though? Immortal Thor 2023. You know, post 2010 comic, it doesn't really count. They're just memes at this point. And then you have one half of the Bifrost bridge, because of course Loki is going to have the other half, right? His emote. Taking that. Wow, that's like kind of thick, isn't it? What is it? This battle pass is a little sussy, or is that just me, guys? As we always see with Luna Snow, she has like barely any comics, so this is just another original skin. Kind of cool though. I like the color combo. I actually like the purple into the white rather than the light blue into the white. I think it's a little better. Simple spray, her jacket. Empire State University. Okay, so this is actually another set they're doing, because the launch skin of White Fox is also Empire State University. Her emote, rehearsal rhythm. Oh, I get it. She's a break dancer now. That makes sense. Okay, no, I like the skin a lot more. I like the style. Checking that MVP. Not bad, not bad. Purple skin, MVP, decent emo. I like this. And then the low-key. Dude, his hair is freaking glorious. Why does he look like that guy from K-pop Demon Hunter? This is probably one of the best free pages they've done in any of the battle passes, let's be honest. Check that emote. The hammer hijack. Oh, he pretends to have Thor's hammer. No way, dude. Best emote, too. MVP. Tiny trickery. Just communing with this crow. That's a pretty simple MVP, honestly. Maybe the weakest part of this set. And you also get the other side of the spray. Dude, this pose, this face, the zest levels are at maximum. The tightness of these pants, too. On the 11th page, we have a Halloween Penny. Another spooky Penny skin. What? I guess. Okay. Little Miss Muffet meets Coraline meets Pumpkinhead Scarecrow type stuff. Freaking mechanical arm. There are like 8 different things in this skin. This is part of the Twisted Nightmare thing too. Another one of the events that's about to expire. We'll look at that in a sec. I don't see how this matches that, but it's a good skin. Just completely wrong time of year. The emote Scare Spider, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I can see now that there's like a fire burning inside of it that's fueling it. On the last page, we have the final gallery card. And the thing about this gallery card is actually hinting at Season 8 and beyond. We have more Devil Dinosaur right here in the top left. We have Cyclops glasses right here on the bottom shelf. And then someone over here who we're not quite sure who it is. Could be Captain Marvel. Some people think it's Madeline Pryor. And I think because of how the MCU went down and because, you know, Marvel Rivals has some autonomy from Marvel, you know, the game is somewhat independent, they might choose to go with a different Captain Marvel than was in the movies. Now, quickly looking at these Twisted Nightmares, because you've probably seen them already, but this is why I mean the aesthetic of that Scarecrow doesn't really fit these. These are more like gypsy magic or something like that, you know, like witchcraft wizardry. Kind of reminds me a bit of Spellbreak, if you guys ever knew that game. Same here with Doctor Strange, too. He's like the Sorcerer Lord at this point. I don't know how that Scarecrow fits. Here's the Deadpool skin, the ESU Deadpool skin. He's got a spray, which is actually 8-bit. There's a Spider-Man spray in here as well. Don't forget that. Wow, this is a goated Jeff nameplate. I haven't changed my nameplate since I got the Herbie, since, you know, I'm kind of a bot. But this might take the cake. The Cheerleader Chaos emote, dude. Deadpool is such a meme in all the best ways. But yeah, you can see his skin too. Blue Deadpool with the t-shirt. ESU Spirit Squad, that's what it is. He's not actually in the university. He's just on the Spirit Squad. And he even says it with the lore. Breaking the fourth wall. All I have to do is buy one piece of merch and boom, I'm part of the college life theme. Don't forget he's going to have a couple of these gallery cards as well. Is there any lore that we can discern in here? This is all ESU stuff, but we have Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. So we see a future Mrs. Fantastic skin. I like this, dude. Sue Storm looking like the Lady Kennedy right there. And then maybe even a Spider-Man skin where he actually has his mask off. That would be pretty cool. This is a Hulk skin, I think. This looks like a Professor Hulk type thing. So maybe we'll get that as well. And then who is this? Fallen Saint. Let me know in the comments if you know who this is. I have absolutely no clue. We might be looking at the Season 8 villain right here in the Fallen Saint card. Okay, this is actually super dope. They reformatted how they do the competitive screen, the whole tournament screen. It's just called the Esports screen, and they actually have a schedule here. Not only that, they show you which big teams are in which series, and the whole thing that makes this super interesting is they are going to put out official esports team skins into the game. And I know esports is a bit niche in terms of, you know, a more casual game like Marvel Rivals, but if you like any of these teams from any other games as well, I'm personally a Sentinels fan. Sentinels has a good eye for talent. They actually picked Booga before the Fortnite World Cup, so in my eyes, that kind of makes them legendary. And then all of the skin purchases contribute to the total prize pool at the yearly global tournament. And the way they formatted this, I think it's actually going to increase the viewership because you got live streams right here. It's going to be a week until they start actually running this season's Marvel Rivals Championship, and that's this right here. Last season, it's pretty interesting how many like amateur teams are making their way up the rank. There's so many good, talented young players in Marvel Rivals. It's kind of crazy, man.